I love a special request. Cheryl, I like to walk. What can I do for a 10-minute warm-up and stretch before I walk? I got to thinking, well, a lot of people choose walking as their general cardiorespiratory workout. People with Parkinson's, that's one of the biggest ones. So let's just do a 10-minute stretch or whatever, even if you've just been sitting on the sofa or you've come home because you've been riding in the car. You never stretch a cold muscle. So how are you supposed to warm up and stretch if your muscles are cold and you want to do an activity? Well, we call it an active stretch, and you'll see what I mean. Then you can hold it in a passive stretch if you wish. But a passive stretch being held with a cold muscle that isn't warmed up can very likely rip that muscle or compromise that muscle. So let's start just with both hands, and you're going to do the little turn, except you're going to throw something different into it. You're going to bring your hands up and over your head and turn. Up and over your head and turn. Up and over your head and turn. Now keep doing this, and you'll notice that as you started, you weren't reaching quite as far and you weren't turning quite as far. So now that you've been doing just a few of them, you're probably turning a little bit easier, a little bit farther, and that's that active stretch. So if you wanted to, you could go ahead and hold it, hold it, hold it, and on the other side you could hold it, hold it, hold it, usually 8 to 10 seconds, and that would be a passive stretch. But we're doing all active stretches for you today. Take the arms and doing the same thing, except reaching up to the side and up, over in the circle and up. Now watch your hands go up as you do this. You're going to actually be working the sides, the shoulders, kind of moving around the shoulders and the neck area too. So that's real good for a warm-up. Just kind of toss the hands up. It isn't fast. And really reach on those last two. There's one, here's another. There's a nice little warm-up. Now we're going to do the one arm up and down, just a nice stretch. This also bends the elbows and starts to warm everything up. You don't have to do too many of these, because you don't have to do too many of any of these when you're going to go out and do your walking. You do use your arms, but you're not going to be using them like weightlifting or anything like that. But look what happens here with the shoulders and the neck when I do this. It stretches down here as it contracts up here. So you're really working a huge amount. And of course all the muscles in your back, even your stomach muscles. Talking about Parkinson's, and you're going walking. With Parkinson's, the arm swing often shortens, and that shortens the steps that you're taking. It really screws up your gait. So what I want you to do for your warm-up is the big swing. Really exaggerate and let your body kind of turn with it as you do the big swing, because you're just warming up. You don't want to be too stiff. So turn with it just a little bit. Now take a little break. Shake it out. This time hold your head forward as though you were actually walking. Push the hand back. Don't think so much about pushing the one hand up in front. Think about pushing the one up and back. And you can kind of do a little dip with your knees if you want to when you're doing this. Now we're going to start warming up, working down. We're going to do the pendulum leg swing. You've seen me do this a lot. You're just going to support yourself with your hand on something and swing the leg forward and back while you look forward. Don't do this. Do this so it's working from the hip. Okay? It's also tightening here, and when the foot is back, it stretches here, tightens here. Foot forward, stretches here, tightens here. Active stretch. However many you do on one side, you're going to want to do on the other side. You'll notice that I'm not wearing shoes or socks. You can do these warm-ups in your shoes or barefoot, but if you do them in your socks, make sure that you're on a carpet, because the ones that we do in just a few minutes, you could slide pretty well. Now we're going to do something for inside that joint. What I want you to do is think about a bug, stand on one foot and squish that bug with the other foot. Rock over and squish a bug on the other side. Rock it over, squish that bug. Rock it over again. Let's do one more on each side. Squish it, really turn that foot, and get those arms a-going with it. Great, I think we've just got dead bugs all over the place now. I'm going to take a break, and I'll join you in just a minute. You think that that white screen back there is so that you'll have lots of clarity as I'm doing these. It's actually hiding my vacuum cleaner. So, you're going to need something that is approximately knee height, more or less. Probably the arm of your sofa will do. I happen to have a big old box that works real well for this. But I'm going to show you some more warm-up exercises. And this one I really like. It's a back leg lift, and you just use the same leg as you pump it up and down. This tightens up right behind here, warms it up, brings a lot of blood into that area because you use the glutes a lot when you're walking. And of course on the other side, the same number, although I didn't actually count. We'll just go for about the same amount of time and we'll probably have it made. After our back leg lifts, then what we're going to do is a step back. I want you to take a step back and a step back. And what I want you to do is slowly but surely, every time that you step back a little bit farther and or drop the heel a little bit more. And again, if you were to do this hold and just hold it and hold it, it's actually going to tighten up on you and it's going to fight you. But if you warm up doing this nice and easily, and then you can go ahead and drop it and hold and hold and hold. And this is a good one to do after you've been walking too, because it really stretches and elongates the calf. And the other foot, and hold and hold and hold. We could do the Jeopardy thing. Feet out to the sides, and bending one knee and straightening the other leg. Just go back and forth. You can do this standing upright if you want to. It's just that when I'm down there with my hands on the box, I just go ahead and I do it when I'm doing my walks and my runs and things on the track, because I'm just right here. And then after you've warmed up and you've got that stretch going on, then you can go ahead and hold it. Remember, when you do this, don't take a big bend in your knee like this. You don't want to be really bending the knee. It's just a little bit of a bend. And the other leg is going to stretch and straighten, and you're going to feel a good stretch in there. And hold it. And hold it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to reach down just a little bit and come up and come down, and you can support yourself with the box if you want to, and up, up, down, down. Now you'll notice when I'm doing this that my heels stay pretty close to or on the ground. Yours will probably come up unless you're quite flexible. And if you've got your shoes on, you've already cheated. You've got those heels just a little bit higher than the rest of the foot. But this is a real good one for a warm-up. Semi-straight legs, bend, come up, come up. Now, if you happen to be out on the track or something and you do this, you can do this just bending, holding, and come up. But be aware that from the side, this looks like you're going potty on the track. So, make sure you're among friends. Now, our last one is going to be with the leaning forward and the step back that we did, except now you're going to bend the knee, bring it up. So it's a step back and a bend and forward. Step back, drop the heel, bend the knee, up, bending. Now what that does, it helps right in here to stretch this little area that often doesn't get stretched. And when you're walking and running, sometimes you can build the calf muscle up so large that it will actually split the sheath that holds the calf muscle together there, and then it can be real painful. that one that we were doing like this, and this one is very helpful for those stretches. And when you get through, go ahead and go back, and you can just drop your hips toward your hands slightly. Your heels will come off the floor, and that's just fine. Just do this little gentle rocking motion. And so you're doing an active stretch, actually an isokinetic stretch. Anytime that you elongate and shorten the muscle against a solid surface, that's an isokinetic exercise. And now you should be ready to go out and walk.